So today I'm going to share with you one of the simplest drills that I've ever found to help you fix so many different issues in your golf swing. So one drill that helps you fix multiple issues. That sounds pretty good, right? That sounds like a drill that we'd probably like to work on and use in practice. And we're going to share with you in this video what that drill is and what it can work on and how it can help you play some better golf. So we're addressing primarily lots of backswing issues, and you know, if you're the golfer who tends to roll the club inside a little bit too much, we're going to help you with that. If you're a golfer who feels like when you make your backswing you stand up out of your posture, we're going to help you with that. Or if you're someone who just really feels that you struggle to rotate correctly and you feel that you sway a little bit off the ball, again, it's going to help you with that. So it really addresses lots of backswing faults that we see cropping up quite a lot with the amateurs who struggle, and you may well be in that category. So what is the drill? Well, we're going to start without a golf club, and what I'd love you to do is take a couple of tees and you're going to place those underneath each arm. Now, when you place those tees there, you probably can't even feel them, but we really want to try and keep some connection between the upper arms and the side of your chest, so this is really important for that. Now, what I'd love you to do is get yourself into golf posture around a golf ball, and then just place your palms so they're facing down towards the ground. My arms are comfortably straight. They're not locked, but they're comfortably straight. Now, the little exercise is to make a rotation away from the target and start to think about how these hands are positioned as we do that. So let me show you what we'd like you to do. As I make my rotation away, we want you to stop at this point here. Now, what we're looking for is my trail hand to be higher than my lead hand, and you can see that's the case there. We'd also like those hands to be facing pretty much the camera, which is the one I'm looking at now, and we'd also like those hands to be pointing out pretty much horizontally back away from me. And very simply, that's the drill I'd love you to do. So from here, we rotate back, and I feel as if my hands are pointing straight towards that camera and my trail hand is higher than my lead hand. Now, with any luck, that looked relatively simple. It looks pretty easy to do, and it looked as if it was something that you could do. But that does so many good things, and let's address some of those things now. If you're someone who tends to stand up out of your posture, really common, we see golfers lifting up in the backswing all the time. What that really means is that shoulders aren't necessarily turning on an angle, they're turning too flat. Now, when I do that and I rotate too flat and I stand up, notice how my trail hand is no longer higher than my lead hand because my shoulders have leveled out. It's the angle in our shoulders which keeps the angle in our hands. So the golfers who stand up, it's going to be a really good little exercise for you to sense what that angled rotation should look and feel like. What about the golfers who tend to have a lateral head movement off the golf ball? Well, if you move your head off the golf ball, what happens is as you rotate and your head moves, you can see how my hands, they point away from me, but they point down towards the ground. They don't point horizontally out towards that camera. So the golfers who sway, you're going to find it really difficult to get those hands to point towards that camera. And finally, if you're someone who, you know, rolls the club inside a little bit too much, what happens then is you often get a little bit too active in your hands. And again, we start to lose the ability to keep this trail hand a little higher. You might be someone who just doesn't rotate enough. And if you're someone who doesn't rotate enough, you'll just find that you get a point here where you feel that you stop and your hands are kind of trending in the right direction, but they never quite get to that point where they're kind of up and pointing to the camera. So as you can see, it's kind of a really simple drill. It doesn't require any equipment, it doesn't require a driving range or any golf balls or a golf club, but it starts to tick off lots of things that all the best players do. All the best players have a really nice centered rotation. They all rotate on a really good angle. They all stay pretty centered, and they all have a good amount of turn in the backswing. And this little drill, as I say, just helps you with all of those things. So I'd love you to just stand there, and you can do this at home in your living room or your office or wherever you're watching this now, hands or palms facing down towards the ground, and just make some rotations where we're starting to get those little things ticked off. Trail hand is higher than lead hand, both palms are facing behind me and directly out horizontally towards that camera. And as you can hopefully see from those camera angles, it keeps me working my body movement really nicely. I'm a big believer, and I've kind of always believed this, that if you watch your golf swing on camera and you see the club head or the club shaft or just the golf club in general moving into some areas that you don't really like, so we've kind of touched on the golf through, maybe rolls it inside or the club moves out here somewhere, it's very often what the body's doing. because the body, which is, I call that the inside, controls the outside, which is the club head. So if I put myself into a really nice position halfway back and I start to change my body positions, you'll start to see how the golf club will move through some very different areas just because I've moved my body different. So if you watch your golf swing, you don't like what the golf club is doing, do this drill, work on the body movement, get it rotating, which is this movement, get it tilting, which is this movement, and get it extending, which is what we know as kind of this movement, which keeps us very centered. Your backswing is made up of rotation, tilts, and extensions. This little drill is going to help you do all of those things, but in a very, very simple way, and that's the key message here. Once you've done a couple of those, you're going to have a very good idea of what the body should be doing, and then you can just go ahead and try and replicate that in a golf swing. Now, even when I stand here with a golf club, I can still feel that my palms would be facing that camera. I can still get those same ideas and those same sensations I had before. So, if you're someone who struggles with those things that we've mentioned, that drill is fantastic. It's simple, and I love simple drills that help you achieve some better movements, some better positions, ultimately some better golf as well. Thanks for watching. Usual stuff is down below. Would love to hear your thoughts. Give it a thumbs up if you did like it, and please subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. It is absolutely free, and I'd love it to have you part of this community because I really believe these videos can help you play some better golf. Thanks for watching.